I went behind the scenes at one of the world's best restaurants to give you an exclusive look at how a 3 Michelin star dining experience is crafted. Best of all, I tried every single dish on the menu to give you an honest review and to answer the big question, is the hefty price tag really worth it? Welcome to Tastebud. I'm a sommelier with 20 years of experience eating at some of the best restaurants around the globe. On this channel, I provide honest reviews of fine dining restaurants based on my own 100 points rating system, so make sure to subscribe as I have tons of amazing restaurant reviews coming up. Since 2011, Maaemo has been ranked as high as number 38 on the world's best restaurant list. But how come that a regular guy from Copenhagen in Denmark relocated to Norway and opened a restaurant that has had 3 Michelin stars for almost 10 years straight? And is it really still that good? Has the menu evolved and changed anything since my last visit? And what is the next chapter for this amazing restaurant? I need some answers. So I scheduled a meeting with Head Chef Jay Boyle before my dinner reservation. Let's head down there to have a chat with him. To get there, we take the metro downtown. After all, it's the most affordable way of getting around Oslo, because I gotta save in where I can, because an evening at Maaemo is not considered to be anything close to cheap. In fact, if you opt for a glass of champagne to begin with, of course you do, then you opt for the wine pairing to the set menu, you are easily on the north side of 800 euros. To me, that's a lot of money. So is it worth it? Well, I like to think so, but stick with me to the end of this episode where I break down the entire menu and give my ratings so that we can conclude together. In 2010, Maaemo opened in this district of Oslo called Grønland. That's not Greenland, Grønland, as in the country, but one of Oslo's poorer neighborhoods. The initial location of Maaemo here in Grønland symbolized a bold move to bring high-end, innovative dining to a less affluent part of the city. The chef behind the opening was Espen Holmboe. Born on July 19, 1982, Espen grew up in Frederiksberg in Copenhagen. His early years were marked by a unique upbringing in a hippie collective in Værløse after his parents, both journalists, divorced. This environment nurtured his deep appreciation for nature and sustainability, elements that have profoundly influenced his culinary style. Espen's journey into the world of cooking began when he left secondary school to pursue a chef's apprenticeship. He worked at multiple restaurants in Denmark before moving to Oslo with his Norwegian girlfriend in 2001. In Oslo, he worked at several prestigious restaurants, including Bagatelle, Le Canard, Uro, and Feinschmecker, before opening Maaemo together with the Finnish sommelier Pontus Dahlström and Jon Frede Engdahl. They opened Maaemo in this building right here on top of these stairs. It's not an area exactly known for fine dining. Just behind me here you have Oslo Bus Terminal, Grønland, and the lower part of Akerselva, more known for drug sales and other shady business. And literally next door to Maaemo we have Oslo Central's train station, super noisy and busy. So it's not the most charming neighborhood, but that didn't stop Espen and his team from working wonders behind that door. Just 15 months after the opening, Maaemo was awarded 2 Michelin stars. That was unheard of in Norway at that time. In 2016, it received its 3rd star. However, 3 years later, Espen gave away all 3 stars when he decided to close the restaurant to relocate from Grønland to the new Bjørvika neighborhood. Bjørvika is known for its rapid transformation from an industrial zone to a vibrant urban district and has been developed extensively over the past decade, featuring modern architecture, cultural landmarks like the Oslo Opera House, and waterfront promenades. It has become a dynamic and attractive part of the city, blending residential, commercial, and recreational spaces while emphasizing sustainability and innovative urban planning. Within its first year after opening at its new location, Maaemo made a triumphant return, regaining all 3 stars in 2021 and continuing its legacy of excellence, serving as a bucket list restaurant for destination diners from around the world. And one of those diners is me. I'm here now on my way to the new Maaemo. From the old one is just a few hundred meters over this bridge to Bjørvika. So my dinner reservation is in 2 days, but I'm here today to talk to the head chef and assistant wine director to learn more about the current menu and how they approach the wine pairing to make it a complete experience for the guest. So here we are, outside what's known as the world's largest door with the world's smallest sign. Kind of discreet, but at the same time, not really. With the restaurant close to guests, I make my way to the staff entrance where I'm greeted by Jay, busy in the test kitchen crafting a new dish. This is where Espen and Jay, the two chefs in charge, dedicate most of their time experimenting and developing new creations for the restaurant's ever-evolving tasting menu. Recently, Maaemo has embraced a more defined seasonal approach, ensuring each dish reflects the freshest ingredients and flavors of the moment.
I would say this is the next big step for us, is that we have changed the way that we look at changing the menus. Now in the next year, 2 years, it's going to be a lot more challenging for us to do a whole menu change every 3 months.
Previously, the restaurant adjusted its menu by swapping out a few dishes here and there. Now, they adopted a bold and ambitious approach, completely reinventing the menu every 3 months. It's both inspiring and a testament to their creativity. But if you're worried about missing out on their signature dish, rest assured, because...
So you do a complete menu change, except the oyster.
Except the oyster. We spoke a lot about whether or not we should take that off. And it always gets a little bit to the sort of the day before we decide that it's going to go, and then we take it off the chopping block.
As you probably know, Maaemo's iconic oyster dish has been a staple since the restaurant's opening. And as you'll see later in this video, it's just as breathtaking today as it was back then. With the menu now evolving more frequently, I can't help but wonder, has their approach to cooking shifted as well?
So the base philosophy has stayed the same.
After a long conversation in the test kitchen, Jay suggests we take a tour of the restaurant to see how the team are preparing for tonight's service. We're joined by assistant wine director Rudi Mante as we walk through the main dining room and into the open kitchen and plating station. This is where most of the action happens during service. The space is clean and spacious with a sleek design featuring hidden drawers and ample room for prep and plating. One standout feature is the custom lighting, which illuminates only the tabletops. As you'll see later, this keeps the chefs in the shadows while providing perfect light for their workstations. Downstairs, beneath the main dining room, are additional workstations where most of the prep takes place. The basement also houses several storage areas, including coolers and fridges, each designed for specific items like fresh produce and fermented ingredients. There's even a dedicated seafood room reflecting the menu's strong connection to Norway's coastal bounty. After wrapping up with Jay, I joined Rudi Mante to learn more about their thoughtful approach to beverage pairings for Maaemo's extensive menu. The wine cellar, located near the area where guests are served their first snack, features a large window offering diners a glimpse inside. Maaemo offers 3 wine pairings for guests. The first one is the Maaemo wine selection, priced at 260 euros. The second is the prestige wine selection, priced at 685 euros. And then we have the Holy Grail wine selection at an astonishing 2,150 euros. Can you guess which one I chose? I will reveal that later when I take my seat for what hopefully will be one of the best dining experiences of the year. Or not. We'll see. The wine cellar isn't huge, but it's packed with an exceptional selection of high-quality wines. No matter which pairing you choose, Rudi Mante assures that it's worth every penny.
One of the most interesting parts of our job is, of course, to collect the best wines produced and the most interesting ones, but especially having a good value wine pairing. That's our focus, because, of course, there are a lot of guests who want to enjoy the premium wine pairings, but most of our guests will just leave our doors with the idea of the Maaemo pairing. That's why it's the one that allows us to explore a little bit more, and it's about the value of the wine, but especially the quality of the wines. What we do is to try to not have a very fixed wine pairing. So we're not scared of changing the wines quite often, as long as we get special wines that our guests can hardly find somewhere else, or sometimes a bit more expensive than expected, but definitely worth it.
After all that talk about food and wine, it's finally time for me to get changed and head back down for dinner service. But before I do, I have to say, meeting Jay and Rudimanti in such a relaxed behind-the-scenes setting was truly special. Both are incredibly humble and welcoming, and I feel genuinely grateful to have spent time with them like this. My expectations for tonight's dinner were already sky high, but this pre-visit has taken them to another level. And just like that, I'm back at the famous doorbell. I'm once again greeted by Rudimanti, dressed up and ready with the fireplace glowing warmly in the background. Arriving for dinner here feels special. The lighting is dim, creating a relaxed, cozy atmosphere. The entrance features designer chairs, a spacious coat closet, and a sleek Scandinavian minimalist design. Before entering the main dining room, Rudimanti leads me up a hidden staircase to reveal something special. This is Maaemo's private dining room. This exclusive space offers the full Maaemo experience, complete with its own dedicated kitchen and staff. Separate from the main dining area, it seats up to 16 guests and serves the same tasting menu at the same price. Tonight, the room is set for 4 lucky guests flying in from Italy. Adding a personal touch, the stunning table in this room was crafted by Chef Espen's brother, reflecting the restaurant's attention to meaningful details. As service time approaches, I follow Rudimanti to the main dining room for the staff briefing. It's led by Michael and Jay. This meeting sets the tone and expectations for the evening, a ritual I always enjoy. It's fascinating to hear where tonight's guests are coming from. Like other world-class 3 Michelin star restaurants, Maaemo attracts diners from across the globe, with guests tonight arriving from the US, Asia, and various European countries. After the briefing, I'm escorted to the basement for the first snack servings. This space, styled like a Norwegian living room, features cozy chairs, sofas, and a fireplace, setting a warm and welcoming tone for the evening. The furniture, crafted by Swedish brand Fogia in collaboration with Norwegian designer Andreas Engesvik, enhances the inviting atmosphere. Rich upholstery in cognac and bottle green contrasts beautifully with the dark wood paneling, adding both comfort and elegance. And next to the wine cellar are the restrooms, accessed through a beautifully designed passageway with automatic sliding doors. Forgot your favorite fragrance? No problem. There's a curated selection of high-end perfumes to choose from. Back at my table, while waiting for my friends Håvard and Marius, the wine director Michael Geras welcomed me with a glass of champagne. He pours a Leclerc Tiffin, a Blanc de Blancs from a small family-run champagne house renowned for its high-quality, terroir-driven wines. This special cuvée, a Grand Cru d'Avis, is limited to just 8,700 bottles, making it a rare treat. It boasts a delicate, chalky and floral nose with incredible freshness on the palate. The fine mousse and elegant minerality made it a perfect match for the snacks to come. And here it is, served by one of the many skilled chefs, a classic Norwegian crisp bread known as krumkake, filled with a creamy blend of langoustine claw, chives and dill. Unfortunately, there was also something else in this dish that shouldn't have been there. I chose to overlook it at the time to avoid letting it impact the rest of the experience, but I'll address it at the end of this episode for you to know. The snack in itself is Norwegian cuisine at its finest, showcasing the delicate, intense flavor of the langoustine beautifully paired with the roasted yeast notes and crisp texture of the krumkake. And if the first snack was delicious, the second takes it up a notch. The same chef returns, beaming to present a mushroom tartlet filled with an emulsion of lovage and tarragon, morel and lemon thyme jelly, and freshly cooked king crab meat. The flavors are simply incredible, intense and concentrated, yet beautifully balanced with elegance. The dish shines with its perfect blend of texture, richness, and acidity, and the flavor intensity reminds me of what Chef Jay said earlier.
We just want everything to taste a lot. From the first bite, you realize that you're in a restaurant that is going to focus on flavor.
As the snack servings continue, our champagne glasses are topped up repeatedly. I spoke with Rudimanta about this, and she explained that the team is highly attentive to ensuring guests always have something in their glass. A challenge when serving 3 thirsty diners like us. That said, the sommeliers and service team at Maaemo do an outstanding job. Their attentiveness, combined with a relaxed yet professional approach, gives the service a distinctly Norwegian warmth that makes you feel genuinely cared for. But will they score a perfect 20 out of 20 points for service on my Tastebud rating scale? Well, there is still a lot of things that could go wrong during the night, so I'm not 100% confident yet. I'll get back with my final verdict in the end, so stay tuned. Next, another one from the kitchen team arrives with what he proudly calls the staff's favorite snack. Pan-fried brioche, topped with local cave-aged cheese, a cracker of chicken skin, elderflower jam, and fresh salad leaves. It's easy to see why this is a staff favorite. Comfort food taken to Michelin-star heights. While I thoroughly enjoyed it, my personal favorite so far remains the previous king crab tartlets. The final snack of the evening arrives, brought by one of the female chefs, smiling and friendly as well. It's clear the team here at Maaemo truly loves what they do. She introduces a rye and rose tart with pickled spruce topped with summer leaves and flowers dressed in gooseberry vinegar. While the previous snacks followed a nice progression in flavor, this one surprised me with its more delicate and neutral profile. Personally, I think it would have worked better as one of the earlier snacks to align with the overall flow. That said, it's a minor observation and purely subjective. After finishing our snacks, Rudimanta invites us to the main dining room. The atmosphere here is truly remarkable. Calm, cozy, and completely detached from the outside world. Espen and his team have done an outstanding job creating a space that feels both intimate and exceptional at its new location. The main dining room features carefully selected furniture that perfectly complements its minimalist elegance. Among the highlights are the Spisolini dining chairs. These pieces, part of the bespoke collaboration with Norwegian firm Radius Design, add to the seamless and inviting ambience of the space. My friend Håvard sets his expectations high, and he doesn't have to wait long, as Rudimanta pours an extraordinary first wine to kick off the pairing.
First wine director here at Maaemo established a very strong connection with Klaus Peter Keller. So they're releasing only for us the double magnum size of the Wonderfelds.
As I mentioned earlier, Maaemo offers 3 wine pairings, and as you may know from my other videos, it is no surprise that I opt for the standard pairing. In my opinion, it provides the best value and showcases the most thoughtfully curated wines to complement each dish. And this first wine in the Maaemo pairing perfectly exemplifies that philosophy. Including a Keller Riesling in a standard wine pairing is a rare treat, as these wines are notoriously hard to acquire. The Von der Fels Trocken offers a complex bouquet of citrus, green apple, peach, white flowers, and pronounced minerality. On the palate is crisp acidity, precise structure, and vibrant mineral backbone shine through. This exquisite Riesling pairs beautifully with our next course, the iconic oyster dish, Maaemo's only true signature. It's been a staple on the menu since my first visit in 2010, and it's so good that the chefs is having a real struggle to take it off the menu. Even after experiencing this dish many times, it's just as captivating as it was 15 years ago. The dish features an oyster emulsion with oil and vinegar, forming a jelly base made from oyster water. It's then topped with a warm mussel and dill sauce, creating a simple yet remarkably complex flavor profile.
That is one that we can't take away. It's on every menu.
Innovative and delicious, this iconic dish is as relevant today as it was in 2010. Rudimanta continues to top up our Keller Riesling, thankfully, as we're keeping this exquisite wine for the next dish as well. Up next is another Norwegian classic, mackerel. When I asked Head Chef Jay if there was one dish on the current menu he was particularly excited about, he pointed to this one.
So I think for me on this menu, I have a real soft spot for, we have a very lightly cured mackerel with grilled peas. That's actually a sort of a combination that we did 10, 12 years ago. At the heart of it, it was something that we felt that we wanted to revisit this year for the first time in a decade.
For me, this was undoubtedly one of the standout dishes of the night. The sharp acidity and sweetness from the apples paired beautifully with the bold character of the fish. It's an incredibly inspiring way to showcase a distinctive ingredient like mackerel. Before the next dish, Rudimante pours us a new white wine with a twist. Knowing our love for wine, she serves it blind, challenging us to figure it out. We quickly settle on Chardonnay, but debate whether it could be Chenin Blanc or even Furmint. The precise fruit character and minerality, though, lean towards a cooler climate Chardonnay, so we guessed a village wine from Burgundy. While we nailed the grape, we missed the region. This wine is from Gavin Shannon, a renowned winemaker in Santa Barbara, California, who focuses on single vineyard expressions of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. This cuvée comes from the iconic Bien Nacido vineyard, known for its cool climate conditions and marine-influenced soils, which lend the wine its vibrant mineral character. It's no surprise we guessed Burgundy. Shannon's winemaking is deeply inspired by that region's traditions. The Chardonnay paired beautifully with the next dish, the mandatory langoustine course. In the Nordics, it's almost impossible to dine at a Michelin-star restaurant without encountering this classic, and Maaemo's version is among the best I've ever had. The langoustine is brushed with brown butter, honey, and chamomile, accompanied by a sauce of juiced Jerusalem artichoke and elderflower. Grilled over open fire on one side, the langoustine tail achieves perfect texture, and the sauce, intensely flavorful yet delicate, enhances the dish without overpowering the langoustine. This was nothing short of extraordinary. With seafood behind us, we move into the next phase of the menu, red wine and meat. We were introduced to the star of the next two courses, young, milk-fed lamb. Dry-aged in-house, it's grilled over open fire with flowers and hay, adding subtle, smoky flavors. The first lamb dish arrives alongside the bread and butter, and there's a reason for it. The lamb is served with a rich sauce made from its broth, cucumber juice, and lavender, perfect for mopping up with the bread. The lamb itself is incredibly tender, with mild flavors complemented by a hint of burnt hay. Beneath it lies a puree of fermented vegetables, mostly turnips, aptly called the tasty paste by the kitchen. While technically flawless, the dish feels slightly one-dimensional. The harmonious flavors could benefit from a contrasting element or additional texture to create that wow factor. The pairing is a Southern Rhone classic, Vieux Telegraphe from the Brunier family, crafted in the renowned La Croix vineyard of Châteauneuf-du-Pape. This Grenache-dominant blend includes Mourvèdre and Syrah, offering intense aromas of ripe cherry, plum and blackberry with hints of garlic, spices and earthy minerality. The palate is rich and powerful with firm tannins and a long savory finish. A pairing that elevates the lamb and adds depth to the experience. More red wine arrives, and this time we journey north to Burgundy, specifically Beaujolais. The wine is from the renowned Lapierre family, celebrated for their exceptional Bourgogne wines, widely regarded as some of the best expressions of the gourmet grape. The wine showcases aromas of ripe cherry, raspberry and red currant with floral notes of violets and a touch of earthiness. On the palate, it's fresh and lively with bright acidity, medium body and fruit flavors complemented by subtle spice, minerality and a light tannic grip. This was an inspired pairing for our next course, lamb tenderloin, confited in garlic butter and served atop an egg yolk custard flavored with roasted hazelnuts and fermented asparagus. of the two lamb dishes, this one stood out. The flavors were more concentrated and balanced, with an intensity and elegance that perfectly highlighted the exceptional quality of the meat. And with the two meat courses behind us, the transition to desserts begins with a delicate broth of mushrooms, reduced potato juice, and lovage, commonly known as sea parsley, a beloved ingredient in Norwegian cuisine for enhancing potato dishes. Rich in umami, this flavor-packed broth is a perfectly balanced finale to the savory portion of the meal. As we finish our red wines, Rudimante introduces the final wine of the evening, a Riesling Auslese from the Mittelrhein region of Germany, famed for its steep vineyards along the Rhine River. From the family-run Weingut Ratzenberger, this wine comes from the Bacharach Volkshöhle vineyard, one of the Mittelrhein's premier sites. The 2006 vintage, marked by warm conditions and botrytis, produced highly concentrated sweet wines with remarkable balance and elegance. It's luscious and complex. The wine boasts ripe stone fruits, honey, and stony minerality, all beautifully balanced by vibrant acidity and culminating in a long, elegant finish. The Riesling pairs with two desserts, beginning with a compote of strawberries and gel of roses, complemented by a milk and lavender ice cream and a consommé of fermented strawberries with Szechuan pepper. Bright, fresh, and full of vibrant acidity, this dessert is as refreshing as it's elegant. The second dessert and final course of the evening features meadowsweet with a base of sour plum jam, topped with burnt hay. This dish is unforgettable, rich, dense, and layered with complex flavors from start to finish. A truly spectacular way to conclude our meal in the main dining room. Rudimante then invites us downstairs again to the living room for coffee and petit fours. We can't resist adding a glass of 1973 Calvados to round off the evening. The final bites of the evening arrive: a brown butter ice cream cornet with hazelnut and coffee molasses, a rhubarb crémeux, a freshly baked madeleines dusted with chanterelles and cinnamon. As we savor these petit fours, we reflect on our scores for tonight's experience. Before we dive into the ratings, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to support our mission of spotlighting the world's best chefs and sommeliers. Now for Maaemo scores, divided into the following categories. Design and atmosphere, full marks here, 10 out of 10. The space is flawlessly designed, intimate, and immersive. Service, calm, professional, and genuinely warm. No question, 20 out of 20. Wine, high quality selections, thoughtful pairings, and generous pours. The only slight drawback was that some wines were paired with multiple courses. While it worked well, having a dedicated wine for each dish would have added an extra layer of excitement. Still, an impressive 19 out of 20 points. And last, but most importantly, the food. Almost perfect, but not quite there. The dishes were creative, beautifully executed, and full of flavor. However, two small issues held us back from full marks. The first lamb dish lacked a wow factor, and an oversight in the langoustine snack left pieces of shell in the filling, which was not the best treat for my teeth. While I didn't mention it to the staff to avoid disrupting the evening, it wasn't the ideal start. But even with these minor hiccups, 48 out of 50 points is outstanding. This brings Maaemo to a total of 97 out of 100 points, a truly exceptional score. Based on what you've seen in this episode, what's your verdict? Share your thoughts in the comment. I love to hear your perspective. And if you enjoyed my Maaemo review, just wait until you see my take on this 3 Michelin star restaurant, hailed as the world's best seafood destination. What this chef is achieving is truly mind-blowing. But I'll let you be the judge. Check it out right here, and I look forward to see you in the next one.